All right. Hey guys, welcome back. So it's time that we get into another single storyline, all right? So let's see where this one takes us. Yes, it's one of those days where I'm messy and it's windy and it's all these things all rolled into one. So bear with me. Okay. Actually, to start this single storyline, so I have no idea why, but I have this image in my mind of a starfish. So I don't know if there's like multiple branches or if the starfish is representing like hands, hands holding onto each other. I don't know if it's just a connection to the ocean. The ocean to me represents emotions. But in my mind, as I sat down, I had a starfish in my head. I had that pop up into my head one time, long time ago as well. It was for a particular zodiac reading. It may have been for a Libra reading a very, very, very long time ago. I don't know. But let's just see. To me, we're talking about five of something. Fives are numbers of change, though, and that's what I have in my mind is like a starfish with five arms to it. So we've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and we've got the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So first off, singles, you are perhaps withdrawing, letting go, releasing anything to do with like a time frame of your life where if you had been holding on tightly to something, this looks like you're letting it go. Whatever this was, if you still had like passion in your heart for someone, if you still had love in your heart for someone, I feel like you're releasing that. And it might have been something that you held on to for a very long time. Like, one of those situations where we go, well, this didn't work out with this person, but they're a really great person. And you still like carried a lot of emotion that didn't quite fade away. This is like fully releasing that. So it's not really at the forefront of one's mind anymore. So we begin with a release. Okay. Tell me more. Tell me more. Why did I see a starfish in my mind's eye? What was a starfish representing? What should I think about that? We have a Four of Cups in the reverse, and we have a Five of Cups in the reverse. Wow. So in this case, the starfish is, we've got a five here. As I said, to me, I was looking at it as other avenues or like a hand that could reach out or a hand that's alone. Maybe you're ready to put your five on it with the right person. But in the meantime, you're certainly not lacking for anything. This says there is no missed opportunity here. We double down on that message. Your days of tears are over. If you dealt with somebody who kept sleeping on it, right? Instead of coming towards you, they would fail to come towards you. And you see how this person's like, it's growing from this almost like an aloe vera plant. But we see, a man who grows up out of all of these different stems of the plant. But in each time where there was a new opportunity for someone who could have reached out to you, could have healed things, it looks like you're realizing they didn't. In fact, they kept falling asleep. They kept procrastinating. They kept holding back. And so in this case, if you were kind of holding on, you're realizing I missed out on nothing. I have no more sorrows, no more tears to cry. I have nothing left that makes me wonder or worry, was this the situation for me? So in this case, because I said, what was a starfish representing? It represented 5 opportunities that this person could have come in and made things right with you, and instead maybe left you crying. Well, that was your last broken heart. That was their last attempt at grabbing a hold of you, is what I would say. And there's nothing sad here. This could have also talked about 5 months. You notice how we see the 5 moons here. So maybe this is all about 5 months of like thinking about it, not having anything take shape or take form. This person didn't take action. Maybe there were 5 attempts that they made over the course of 5 months. Maybe it was a timeline where, okay, if by a certain date I haven't heard from them, then I'm going to let them go. Well, it looks like the time has come. So maybe the starfish is bye-bye. Like I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to try to fix it and you didn't. So bye-bye. I'm waving like a little kid does. Bye. But that's just it. Maybe it is like, maybe there was a childlike energy to them. If we're waving bye-bye like a little kid, it feels a little bit like that. Also, they might have been, little kids do grabby grab when they want something. That's how they tell you they want you or they want snacks or something. Hold on, I have to have some tea. Blueberry tea, actually. I don't know. This is like filled with imagery. This whole reading is going to be filled with probably a lot of imagery. So bear with me. The moon seems to factor in quite a lot in that particular card. And I just did a bonus general message where I mentioned the moon, and that came out very heavily. And on the community page, I just posted a picture of the moon that I saw shining through the clouds last night that made a perfect heart shape. So check that out if you want to see something kind of cool. Boy, you know what? We have all reversals here still. We have a Queen of Swords in the reverse, and we have a King of Wands in the reverse. So this could have been a connection between an air sign and a fire sign, or it simply is embodying the energies of the two. So one had to be more like logical and look for truth and have to work on strong boundaries. The other person might have been very egotistical, might have had a lot of things that they kept to themselves. Now, let me show you these two in the upright so you can see all the additional messages that we carry with these two cards. So one of these two characters, this could have been a perfect match. But again, this is a singles reading. And all I can say is right now, the singles seem to be talking about letting go of this finally and completely. But we're rehashing it for just a minute here, maybe because it's looking at the differences between the two and why things didn't work. So this king is actually sitting here and they're literally strapped into their throne. So this king didn't really have freedom. They didn't really have mobility. Maybe they were in the shadow of a overbearing father figure or some other individual. It could be a feminine just as easily. This, whatever even if they had a position of authority in their own life, they were always still beholden to something else. We also see that they compartmentalized a lot of things. You notice how the throne is made up of all these little compartments that carry, even we have a bird, but the bird's not free to fly. The bird is like, it's a possession. This person collected emotions and experiences in their life like they were possessions. And maybe we even have this person keeps their head in here too. So they don't really share information. They don't really share things. They're a little scattered, even if this were in the upright. The staff that they carry has all these eyeballs. I feel like this person was always like, maybe even a little lacking of trust, always thinking somebody else was either going to manipulate them or they were always a little bit manipulative. Whatever this was, we have an awful lot of difficult energy with this character, no matter how we slice it. And then when we turn them in the reverse, now we have arrogance. Now we have, I want to hold on to this. It's, I don't care that I'm not giving anything in return. I still want what I want. Now our Queen is, Queen of Swords is somebody who's truthful. However, we see that it's almost like her mind was messed with a little bit because we see echoes of things, right? It's like, okay, I don't know. She keeps looking back on the past, questioning things like things that didn't add up. And then she goes, okay, wait a second. I walked away from that conversation, but I still don't think I understand what that person meant. I'd like to return to that conversation because I don't feel like I ever got full clarity. So she's been confused. She thinks back to layers of conversation that still never made sense. This Queen is not usually like that. Usually she's a straight shooter. She sees it out how it is. She's able to turn her back if she wants to. In this case, she may have turned her back on this person at least once, if not twice in the past, but she still wanted them, maybe even wanted them to stand up and fly right and make things make sense. Maybe there was a little bit of hiding out, a little bit of unintentional game playing even that could have happened there because it was so confusing, because it was so many layers of like, I just don't know what's going on here. Sorry, my hair is like a disaster in my face right now. I can't take it. So we've got kind of like this blend of, I would say, two people that are separating for a very good reason. Is because they're not really good together, as it turns out. So for the singles out there, this looks like I can let go of the situation, the relationship that just didn't click together. And I can see now in retrospect why. It's like these two didn't necessarily bring out the best in one another. Okay, let's change decks now. Let's go. Ooh. Okay, apparently we are going to take this deck because I can barely pick it up. It wants to pop so quickly. Okay, so if the singles out there are just letting go of something, I mean, that's great, right? It's wonderful to let go of stuff that doesn't work. We've got the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So for a little bit, we're just going to ride solo. For a little bit, we're not out chasing down new romance. We're not looking for things to come into our lives. But guess what? We're going to have good times anyway. So we've got, maybe this is better times with friends. Maybe this is hanging out with people that we know and love, people that are near and dear to us. Maybe this is all about the kind of partnerships where we love hanging out with maybe our girls, our guys, whatever this is. This could be family stuff also. This could be a wonderful time to reconnect with just like more, how do I want to say it? Like the people that love you the most right now. This is something, it feels so good. It feels so fun to be around people where we're not talking about our ex anymore. So it's not like a sit down and, have a session where we hash out what's wrong and they try to help us through difficulties, or vice versa. This is just pure play. This is purely like good stuff. We have the Strength card in the reverse and we have the Ace of Wands in the upright. So in this Strength card, this is the, in the Celtic folklore, this is a story of Tam Lin. And so Tam Lin, she had this daring rescue to help her lover, basically to wrestle him away from the evil fairies who had enchanted him and taken him away from her. So in order for her to get her lover back, she has this daring escape where she knocks him off a horse as the fairies are, traipsing him away, and she holds on to him. And because he's been enchanted, one of the spells cast upon him is that he's going to transform through all these various fierce, ferocious beasts. And she has to be strong enough in her love for him to hold on tight to him as he transforms through an alligator and a lion and a boar and all these things. But because her love is so strong, she's not afraid to do that. Because the only reason I mention all that is because here's the thing. You're telling your friends, if anything, you really have the strength to let go of that person. You're not holding on and waiting for them to transform, waiting for them to not be egotistical, waiting for them to not be like straightforward instead of a game player. Like you're at that point where it's like, look, I'm letting go of the person from my past. And I feel like this is a big reveal that you have with your friends, the people that you care for, or being around them. It lets you know, wow, these are people who love me and care for me. I didn't really get that from the partner I was with. It's like there's a big, like it allows you to really see very clearly that this is, in this card, it's not so much about like fear or manipulation of power. It's more about like, I'm not going to go and try to rescue my person and hang on to them as they go through all these transformations, because I kind of got to do that alone. You may be motivated to either write some kind of a letter to release this fully, or you are motivated all of a sudden because what you used to hold on to in this partnership, you've basically, when we release something, it allows us to have all that freedom to give our energy to something else. In this case, it's your creative flow, your creative energy. This is amazing. This is where you are ready to, write, create, paint, draw. You are passionate about your own life. And it's funny because to me, it almost looks like you're painting the moon. The moon illuminates things. There's something romantic about this. There's something where there's passion associated with this. We have a return of really strong vibrations here for you that come after fully releasing something that was once upon a time quite confusing. And I'm sorry, those of you who don't want to hear anything about an ex, I can't help that came up first, because this was very much like cleansing energy that starts this storyline, and kind of like in depth as to what we're releasing, what we're not holding on to. Now we get to that transformative energy. Now we get to talk about, what are you doing? You've released things. You've had more fun with friends. Now tell me about this ace, because the ace is you having all of your interests come back in like tenfold. So first off, we've got the Justice card in the reverse here. And I just want to talk about that first because of the power of this. In my storylines, this is where balance is coming back in. This is where things that were wrong are being made right. So this is where if there had been blockages in life, those things are getting unblocked. As you can see here, every struggle you've been through and will go through, you're like ready to take it on. Like this feels like fun. I almost think that this situation set you up for feeling pretty fearless. It's made you look at how buff he is, right? Here he is working so hard, pounding in these railroad ties, and yet everything about this is making him more physically fit, more powerful. How he overcomes obstacles is he gets stronger every time. He's afraid of nothing. This is a very powerful card, even though it talks about struggles. It talks about how we overcome struggles. I almost feel like this situation, it taught you where to use your strength wisely, and right now it's to use it for your own benefit in life. We have this Judgment in the reverse. This, to me, this talks about like, because we have the monkey here, and the monkey is very curious, right? The monkey is out seeking new information. However, you've learned enough about certain areas of life. Those are no longer your struggles. And I'm thinking like you learned enough about maybe in dealing with this particular person, this particular relationship, you really learned about not only what kind of relationship you don't want, but maybe even like the intricacies of trying to figure out who people are. Heck, maybe you've had a change of heart in something, like maybe once upon a time you really wanted to go into the world of like, you know, therapy, or you were interested in psychology. And at this point you might be saying, you know, that's not actually where my interest is. I don't need to learn any more on that front. I want to take on some other avenues. This feels like your creative brain is what you feel compelled to give your devotion to right now. So a lot of you may be turning toward artistic expression right now, arts in general. You may not be focused anymore on trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong. Those things have maybe already, it's like I've solved those mysteries, is what this feels like. There is no more mystery there now. And maybe that's what the universe gave you that set of hurdles for. It was because it allowed you to learn a whole bunch of things, and you feel like, I got the lesson. That universe, I got the message, got the memo. Now I also know, man, there's nothing I can't weather, because that was really tough. But I'm ready to take on all new adventures. Are you a wounded warrior? No, actually, you're not anymore. Nine of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you're coming out like you don't fear anything. I feel like this is one of those stories where your reaction after all of this has been to feel so liberated from it. So let's take a look at, if you're this liberated, if you are now turning your attention less, just in this reading, right? So everyone's story is going to be different, but in this particular storyline, our lead character has learned a ton and maybe dissected their behavior and the other person's behavior to the point where now it's like you're done being in your head. You're more ready to be active and be, well, we have the Hierophant. Maybe you're hungry to go learn about totally different things now. The Hierophant talks about our higher self. You may be on a spiritual path now. You may be, some of you might be actually setting yourselves up to go into some training program that is more like spiritual, still seeking wisdom, but of a different variety. Because the Hierophant talks about also becoming like a leader. So remember, I said it's more like you're taking action, you're doing things. Maybe part of your progress through all of this, because there was definitely some gnarly stuff that happened here. There was, you know, confusion, there were game playing, there was all those things. And you got the lesson, you figured it all out. And now you're taking actionable steps in your life. And it may still kind of be like the tail end of riding that wave of everything that you've learned, but you're applying it differently. This could be you're stepping into like preparing yourself to become a leader in, maybe you're going to go into like whatever, drama therapy. Maybe you're becoming a teacher of some sort, and that's propelled you this direction. Whatever this is, you could also be opening a business. You could be studying up on what else you're going to do for your own self. But I feel like it's all kind of thanks to the fact that you went through that. You're like, if I could get through that, I can do anything. Heck yeah, I can open a business. Heck yeah, I can do whatever it is that I need to better my life. I feel like you're very tapped into your spiritual self. Four of Swords. If you are about to become a leader, it may have everything to do with not just a spiritual aspect, and that can mean a lot of different things, right? You may be spiritually guided to do something, but ultimately may have something to do with healing. It may have something to do with, heck, you know, maybe you're going to become a massage therapist. Maybe you're going to become a Reiki therapist. Maybe you're going to open a spa. Maybe you're going to, you know, this can be a lot of different things. There is a certain element of relaxing and like allowing hurt and pain to wash through you and actually leave behind only the remnants that make you stronger. And somehow you figured out the magic of how to do that. I feel like that's one of the gifts that you now possess to share with others, if that makes any sense. This is there's this element here where, I don't know, some of you might be going into like, are you interested in like hypnosis or something as well? I only say that because we have this reclining individual, and we have something about like the way we heal, and we use different methods of healing. But it's interesting because I feel like you're the facilitator of this. After everything you've gone through, it's given you this wonderful like perspective. We have the Five of Wands, and then we also have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands here is, of course, in the reverse. There's a delay in all this satisfaction, or it's that you're not doing it for personal like satisfaction or gratification. Instead, look at this Five of Wands, right? So her dress is the checkerboard. So all of the things are under her control, okay, because she wears the checkerboard. All of these people are individuals that are a part of her life. How she chooses to interact with them, she realizes she's the one in power, in control here. Are there lots of different things to contemplate? Yes. But I almost feel as if, like I said, I feel like you're an action taker. I feel like you have a lot of maybe different skill sets that you're figuring out how to bring them all together. I feel like this could have something to do with the next career path you take. Maybe you do want to go into marriage counseling. I don't know, that is a possibility here, just because this could be talking with like lots of different people, or like group situations, group settings. I don't know that I think that, though. I think that this is you knowing that you are in control of how you interact with others. And it's really kind of beautiful because you come across very humble. You come across very much like, even though I think you have so much to give, you're not doing it in like a sassy way. If you're going to become a leader, you're not like wanting people to like follow me. I have all the right answers. You must obey my commands. You don't come across that way at all. You come across as somebody who instead is like super, like you're super aware that the way you communicate will have an impact. And I think you're very thoughtful. And I think that you realize certain things are within your control. Your own voice is within your control. How you interact is within your control. And you're not doing it to become like some, I don't think you're doing it for personal gratification. If anything, I think that you are probably like very invested in the like sharing knowledge aspect. I don't even think that you've contemplated the gifts that you possess. Some of you are a natural leader. So we just got the Emperor that came out in the upright. This is this could also be that you're starting to attract the attention of someone who really likes the way you behave, even though you didn't think of it in that context. I feel though that this is you taking charge of your own life. And as you notice, he looks like he should be like in military regalia, right? However, it's not. Instead of like military insignia, he has flowers that are adorning his vest. And instead of wearing like a crown, he's wearing a home. This is like everything that you're doing is to either better the world around you or to better your own life. You're very much in charge. I do feel like if you open a business of some kind, though, if that's the direction you're going, if you're going to become a leader in some variety, it is so focused on like the only thought on your mind is to build like a safe space for people. Everything is about building community, building home, building like your mindset is so beautiful. It's in such the right place. Doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine. Are you organized? Yes. Do you do things in a sensible manner and like even have like a set of structures and rules? And absolutely. But they're only for the purpose of making sure that everything can blossom and grow. So you're giving everything. I mean, it's just like, do you think it's rude that plants require sunlight in order to grow? No, that's not them being like demanding. That's just a legitimate thing. That's what you need, right? And so that's how you're approaching this. If you are running a business, especially a business about healing or like I say, becoming a leader in some capacity or teaching, are there rules about how you do things? Yes, but it's as natural as breathing. It's just because that's the way it has to go. It's not because you're trying to control anything. This has been a really, I would say, this storyline, what you went through in this storyline has actually brought to the surface like the most important pieces of your life. And that has propelled you into whatever this new spiritual pursuit is, or becoming a leader in some capacity. And it has everything to do with helping others heal in similar ways to what you experience, but you're doing it all for like this really beautiful purpose. And it's not self-sacrificing though. And I do want to mention that because both of these are cards of leadership, and these are good leaders. These are the kinds of leaders where first you learn, and then when you perform and you create your own like program or your own lessons, or maybe you're writing a book or something, again, you do it for the right reason, but you are very much in charge of it. This is not like now you become a doormat who like sacrifices your every breath to the project. Like you maintain a balance always, 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 that you are strong, but you are also like, you're doing this for a purpose. And if you were to sacrifice yourself too much, it wouldn't really have the same valuable impact, because an emperor knows how to keep their resources strong first, then they can give to others. So you'll still be growing and creating a stability and abundance for yourself, not out of greed though, but it's like you're really good with business. You're good with the financial aspect, even if this is focused on something that is like for the community or for other purposes. You don't get into that burnout and that self-sacrifice. And I think that was another wonderful lesson maybe that you gained out of this former situation. And maybe that's why we talked about the former situation so much, because that's part maybe of what gave you the that power, that strength to know how to apply your gifts without depleting yourself, if that makes sense. So very nice. I don't know if that'll resonate with anybody out there. If you are like on some spiritual journey, if you are using everything you've been through in this super positive way, and it's promoting like more growth in your life, in whatever avenue of interest you have, or if you're an artist and you're making art, but you're also like business savvy, you know what your value is. I think that that's a really important message here, is that you know what your value is. Very nice though, you guys. I wish you all the success in the world. Thank you everybody for popping by. So good to see you. You guys are so cute. Jenny L, I didn't get to see your message, but I see Lucia says, "Oh, y'all, I see your message." That's so awesome. I love the Texas drawl. Oh, I think it's so cool. I love all accents though. I'm sad that I haven't. Well, I do have one, right? I have an American accent, but I'm half British and I don't have the British accent, and I'm sad about that. I wish that I did. Anyway, oh, Sensina, no worries, sweetheart. I'm starting to go live a little bit more often, so you'll have another opportunity for sure. But hi, Matthew M. Good to see you. Oh, John, you popped by again, and Jenny, I'm so glad you did too. That's awesome. Wow, Diana, you're doing the pranic healing shamanism. Oh, wonderful! Congratulations, that's beautiful. Air Goddess, awesome. Past life regression. Ooh, Andrea, so you enjoyed the hypnosis. I've never actually tried it before. I've always wanted to. That's awesome. And Michelle, hypnotherapy also? Yeah. Yeah. I'm real intrigued. I'm intrigued by just about everything, but in particular some of that is real interesting to me. So, I agree with you, Steve. Yeah, the best way to lead is by example. That's so true. Yeah. Andrea, well said. It took navigating through the worst to build self-confidence and have complete faith in oneself and the universe. Absolutely. That's a really like profound message right there for sure. Hi, Anne. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thanks for your kindness. All right, you guys. Hi, Sherry Beach. Oh my gosh, that song's going to be stuck in my head all day, Sherry. You're cracking me up. All right, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for popping by. Anyone I didn't get a chance to say hi to. Hi, Victoria. Anyway, lots of love to all of you guys. I will see you again probably, late tonight at midnight when I put out the other video. I've already put out the other bonus video today as well, and I did 4 zodiac signs. So I finished up with our water signs and our fire signs today. All right, bye, guys. I'll see you again.